Hey guys, I think you crashed my last video too. This is Tiana, one of my classmates.
Welcome back to my channel.
Hi, welcome back to our channel. She has to start her own channel.
Do you want these?
Oh, magazines. Hold on. All right, so magazines are wonderful, and it's really good haul too. It's People, Us, The New Yorker, Fortune, which I'm not going to read. So yeah, hi. Did I even say anything about this trip? I'm flying lead on this trip. Tiana and her girlfriend, fiance, I don't know what their relationship status is. They're flying in the back. And it's gonna be a good trip. It's gonna be a good trip. We have a red eye to Newark tonight. I'm spending the whole day in New York tomorrow, going to the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and then I'm going to, my plan is to go to my favorite chocolate shop, depending on its hours, Les Maisons du Chocolat. I will bring you along with me if I go. This should be a really easy trip. Today is just a red eye to Newark, all day in Newark. Then we have one leg to Fort Lauderdale, super easy. Then we have 22 hours in Fort Lauderdale, so nice. And then the next day, the last day of the trip was just two legs, but we do have like a two hour change sit in Detroit, I think, but that's okay. After my last trip, that was not a problem. What else? Oh, I did go to my post office box. Let me shift hands here. I did go to my post office box, and there were two packages that I would like to say thank you for in advance. I'm going to do a separate video about what I found in my P.O. box when I get back from my this trip, just because I think one of them is just super thoughtful. It's really not for me, it's for somebody else, and I'll show you that. And then there was a box of love. I mean, it was just uncommon, the thoughtfulness involved, and I want to say thank you. And it's kind of fun to show you what I got. So I'll show you that when I get back from this trip. I think that's it. So welcome aboard, and I will see you, the next time I see you will either be in the hotel room if something interesting happened on this flight, and I hope I don't see you. But the next time I see you, I'll be in either in Newark or New York City. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey guys, we made it to Newark. We were about 40 minutes early, which normally would be fantastic. Is this our shuttle? No. Normally that would be fantastic, but there was an airplane in our gate, so we couldn't pull into our gate. So we had to wait for that plane to leave, and that was about 35-40 minutes. And then when the plane finally did leave, it actually had to be de-iced, apparently right there. And that took a while, so we weren't able to get into the gate either. So we didn't get into the gate for about an hour and 10 minutes after landing, which is a little frustrating only because we had to prepare. We just start thinking about preparing for a tarmac delay, which is when we have to serve water and cookies to our guests so that they have some sustenance while we force them to sit on the aircraft. But thankfully we were able to get into our gate. We just missed the last shuttle though to the hotel it should be arriving hopefully in a minute or two, but we missed a shuttle, so it's just really exhausting. It's about 7:15 right now. We really should have already been in bed by now, but it's winter in Newark, so this is not the most unusual or the worst that we'll see in the winter, but it's a little frustrating. This is one reason you have to be patient as a flight attendant. But I'll tell you, the flight, easy as pie. Everyone was flawless. They all slept the whole time. And only a few people got up to use the restroom while we were on the tarmac. So it could have been a circus, but they behaved really, really well. So it could have been much worse. I will update you later on us getting to the hotel, I hope. Cross your fingers. Did I just tell you to be patient as a flight attendant? Try. You'll fail sometimes, as I did this morning. So I don't even know what time it was when I spoke to you last, but we got to the hotel at 8 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, we landed at 5:24 and we're just getting to the hotel. The hotel van did not show up. We called a number of times. After a certain period of time, I think it's 45 minutes, contractually, we are allowed to get a cab or a taxi or something, and the hotel has to pay for it because they were not able to. 45 minutes after block, which is when we block in from the flight, and the person that answered the phone had the gall to tell me, "Oh no, the driver said you weren't there." We were there. We were standing outside. They weren't there. And when I called them, I think the third time, I asked them what the process was and who we should have the cab driver talk to, because we were going to get a cab if the shuttle driver didn't show up soon. And she said, "Oh, we won't pay for it." The manager at the desk said, "Oh, you know, we won't authorize that payment," or something. And I'm like, "Excuse me? Is this happen to be a recorded line? Because I just want to hear that you are telling us that you're contractually obligated to and you're not. You're telling me you're not going to do it." She's like, "No, we're not going to pay for the cab." I'm like, "Okay, I just want to make sure that you're saying this on a recorded line." Always say things on recorded lines. That is key. But, so we got to the hotel about 8 o'clock. It is 8:20. I have just eaten a waffle, some eggs, and some ham. I'm going to try and take a short nap. I'm going to set 15 alarms because I really don't want to sleep too late. I want to go into the city. So, so frustrating. But it could have been worse. Hey guys, how are you? It's chilly here in New York. I just got about 45 minutes of a nap. Not enough. And then I'm heading over to the mall, which has a, oh my gosh, a bus into Port Authority for $7. So I'm heading to the mall now. So I made it to Port Authority. I just used the public restroom at Port Authority. An adventure in itself. I'll tell you. You learn to breathe shallowly. Boy, you know, there's a lot of people who are challenged here in New York in a lot of ways. And, you know, this public restroom is available to all of them. It's warm. There's security around, so it's relatively safe. So it's not a surprise to me that someone was in the stall next to me sleeping, snoring quite loudly. And yeah, it's a refuge from the cold and all sorts of stuff. So a real adventure. All right, speaking of adventure, let's step out into the streets. All right, so Google tells me that if I take the C train and then either walk or take a bus, it'll take me about 25 minutes to get to the Met. Walking, my preferred method of getting around New York, because to get to see New York is about 45 minutes. So I'm hoofing it to the Met. Part of that walk is through a good part of Central Park too. So I'm hoofing it. Let's go. I was just ever so confidently walking the wrong way for about 10 minutes. I knew where I'm going. All right, I made it to Columbus Circle. There's the Columbus statue. I'm sweating like crazy because I've been power walking. But at the same time, my fingertips and my ears are gonna freeze and break off. I forgot how much I love winter. Yay! That's not really. I'm lying. Oh, hi. I had a couple crumbs in my pocket. I forgot there were so many birds. Crumbs are gone. Oh, I would spend every day off in Central Park if I lived in New York. Which is never going to happen because I can barely afford Las Vegas. I just love Central Park. I could spend the whole day here walking around. So pretty. This is one of my favorite spots in the park. Unfortunately, it's too cold for people to be sailing their miniature sailboats, but it's still pretty. Look at that dog. Look at that dog. Oh my God, I want to eat it. All right, so I don't want to eat it, but you know that feeling you get when you see a super cute little baby and you kind of want to nibble? Oh, so cute. I don't want to eat dogs because it sounded really gross and creepy. Oh, it's kind of overcast, but it's a nice day. Can you believe that's an apartment building? Those, look at them. People are gonna live up there. That's crazy. Look at this tree. Isn't this wild? Looks like different kinds of animals are trying to be born from this tree. Like this could be the origin of some weird creation myth. How animals were fruit of this wild tree. How crazy is that? All right, I made it. It's taken me a little while. I've been walking through the park. It would have been a faster walk if I just walked up Fifth Avenue, but I just love Central Park. So let's get inside and go. That's supposed to be a youthful Hercules, I'd say. And Hercules as an older man. Nice hood. Okay, you know I found something that made me think of my cat Buddy, right? It's a woman with a cat. This is my favorite sculpture, really, in the world. It's called Bird in Space by Brancusi, I think. Okay, I'll admit, I don't get this. They're hangers. All right, well, that was wonderful, as usual. I took a series of guided tours today. I didn't take as many photos as I would have liked to because, you know, I was just so wrapped up in what the tour guides were sharing. Just really insightful, you know, things I would never have seen or understood without someone else's expertise. So every time I come here, I take a couple of those tours. I try not to wander too much on my own, because after a little while, I just start looking around a room going, oh, all right, this is nice. So I need these guided tours to really help me focus on particular pieces. My favorite piece of artwork in everything is called A Bird in Space, or Bird in Space. And I snuck a video of it. If you saw a video of something while I was in the museum, that was me breaking the rules, because you're not supposed to take videos of stuff. Shh, don't tell. But Bird in Space, Google it. You know, it's just an amazing piece of work. The sculpture isn't really so much of a bird in space, but it's the sculpture of the idea of the motion of the bird in space. It's not even of the bird, but it's a sculpture of the motion. I can't even really speak on it very eloquently, but when I was here, one of the tour guides really opened my eyes, and I stood there mouth agape, just amazed at the idea of a sculpture of a concept of movement. Wacky. But it's like my favorite piece of artwork. It's one of the first pieces of art that really ever staggered me once I was able to kind of grasp the concept the artist was trying to create. Blah, blah, blah. It's my favorite piece of artwork in the world. But yeah, so whew, I am wiped out. If it weren't for the extra caffeine that I'm on right now, I would be unconscious on a bench. I'm so tired and I'm starving. I had a waffle and some eggs this morning at the hotel, and that was about, I don't know, almost 8, it was 8 o'clock. It was exactly 8 o'clock when I was eating breakfast. So I'm gonna eat a gyro or a gyro or a falafel. I would like a falafel at one of these carts right there, quintessentially New York. And then I'm gonna head over to my favorite chocolate shop if it's open, La Maison du Chocolat. So I'll take you along with me if it's open. Oh. Falafel. And what a beautiful night. Okay, stopped off at my favorite little chocolate place. This hot cocoa is as rich and decadent as it looks in the cup. And this is our little caramel eclair. So happy. All right, so that was my favorite little shop in probably all of New York. It's hysterically expensive chocolate. I think it's like $100 a pound for their chocolates. The hot cocoa is $8.50. The eclair was $7. So that was also my dinner. Because I just spent 20 bucks with a tip on a cup of hot chocolate and an eclair. So that is dinner. I have some snacks in my room. But it's a gorgeous little shop called La Maison du Chocolat. It's on Madison Avenue and 78th Street, I think. It's near the museum, Metropolitan Museum of Art. And yeah, so I had a good time. There was a young mother, for the first maybe 10 minutes I was there, there was a young mother with her little teeny child who was maybe 3 at best. And she was having the same exact order I had. And I'm thinking, man, it must be nice to have a lot of money in New York City. Whew. But, so now I'm heading towards Port Authority. No, I lied to you. Towards Penn Station. If I go to Port Authority, I'm going to have to wait till 9 o'clock for a bus back to the mall where near our hotel. Or I can go to Penn Station and get a train to the airport and then get a shuttle from the airport to the hotel, which I think might be quicker. So I'm going to give that a spin because I would like to be in bed by 9 o'clock because we have a van time for 4:30 tomorrow morning. So bedtime for Bonzo before 9 o'clock. I will see you guys later. Hey guys, all right, so I'm close to Penn Station. I don't know quite where it is, but I know I'm close to it. I'm a little bit flustered. You remember a moment ago I just said, nothing's gonna happen between here and there, and if it does, it won't be good. Well, I lied. Something very nice just happened. I was walking on Madison Avenue, heading towards the direction of Penn Station, and then there's this guy walking parallel to me, wearing a baseball cap, glasses. He has a little short, silver, scruffy beard. His dress kind of cool, New York kind of cool, and we sort of made eye contact just for a moment, enough to go, oh yeah, we're on the same team. And super handsome, sort of like a Jean-Luc Picard kind of guy from Star Trek, you know. So handsome. So it turns out his name is Frank. Well, when he said it, it's Franck. Franck? He's French. His real name is Pierre, but he prefers Franck. Okay. Did I tell him what my name was? Yeah, I did. And we just had a little short chat on Madison Avenue, and he said, oh, where are you heading? I said, I'm, heading back to my hotel in New Jersey, but to get there, I either have to go to Penn Station or Port Authority. I said, I think I'm going to head towards Penn Station. He's like, oh, I'm heading in that direction. Would you like to walk together? So to get there, we had to get on the B train or the C. We got on the B train, and that is in front of the Museum of Natural History, which is on the other side of Central Park. So he didn't really strike me as being an axe murderer, so I didn't feel unsafe. Because he had that thick French accent. It was so delicious. And we walked through Central Park to the subway station, and we got on the train and sat down next to each other, and our knees kind of touched. It was a little romantic kind of thrill, just a little flirtation. I haven't flirted with someone, and I certainly haven't been flirted with in a year and a half, 2 years. And, well, I have cats. They satisfy me emotionally somehow. But we just had the nicest time talking. He is from France. He lives here for 6 months. He lives there for 6 months. He's going back to Paris on the 29th. We did not share information, and I don't know why. I think I was just so flustered. But he was kind enough to say that I was the perfect American. Hello? Oh my God. So clearly he's not American, because, and we just had a really nice time. He's a retired doctor, so he just stays there for 6 months. When he gets tired of Paris, he comes to New York, and he hangs out here. When he gets tired of New York, he goes back there. So it was sort of, I don't know, it felt like I was in a movie for about 40 minutes. Then I had to get off the train, and he kept going. I don't know why I didn't give him my email address or something, but it was thrilling. I'll just say that it was thrilling. He had a very, very, very thick French accent, and I had to slow down because you know how fast I talk. And he was like, what? But yeah, he said I was a 10. Hello, I usually see myself as being a 5, maybe a 6. Put me a cowboy hat, I'm an 8, right? But, so I am very thrilled, very excited. This just totally made my day. Alright, so now I am in Greeley Square at West 32nd Street. I have to find Penn Station and then see about getting a train back to the airport. Alright, so there's my something happened from between here and there. Dice, huh? Hey guys, alright, so I just made it back to the hotel room. I took the train to the airport, and then I got the shuttle from the airport here to the hotel. The shuttle showed up within like 3 minutes. Very different than this morning. Very different than this morning. I was so frustrated this morning. It's about it's about 20 past 8 here. So I am, I think I should be able to get a good night's sleep for tomorrow's very early show. I'm going to pop 2 melatonin gummies and then pack my bag up so I don't have to pack in the morning and crawl into bed. What a wonderful, wonderful day. What a great day. I mean, got to really explore parts of Central Park. I always seem to find a new corner or a new statue or a new something in Central Park. I had a wonderful time at the Met. And then, of course, I had my hot chocolate and my caramel eclair. And then, miracle of miracles, to meet a handsome guy who thought I was handsome. Dashing French guy. I mean, crazy. What's killing me is I didn't give him my email or something. That is, I'll kick myself the rest of my life on that one, but whatever. I have cats. I don't need a man. And then, you know, getting back here with enough time to actually get a good night's sleep. I feel like I hit like the jackpot on layovers today. So super excited. Tomorrow morning we fly to Fort Lauderdale. We should get there by tomorrow afternoon. If it's early enough and it's nice, I might go over to Fort Lauderdale Beach or somewhere in Fort Lauderdale. If I'm not up for it, I might just stay in the hotel. But If it's worth filming, I'll film it and let you know what's going on. Otherwise, I'll see you later, okay? You have a great night, and I will see you soon. Fly safe.